Welcome to Sister Talks, a special segment of the Becoming Fierce Female Entrepreneurs podcast. You know, not every season calls for the same move. Sometimes it's trust, sometimes it's test. Which one are you in right now? Well, let's talk about it. Grab your journal or a sheet of paper, and I'll be right back.
Thank you for tuning in today. Our mission is to equip and empower you to dig in and soar higher, doing the things that you love. This podcast is where you'll hear leading experts from around the globe figuring out what you could be doing to tackle your greatest business challenges. So get ready to hear from some of the brightest minds and boldest thinkers on how they're taking on these problems and how you could too. Now, here's your host.
Welcome back. Thank you all for watching and subscribing to our podcast. I'm your host, Joy Norman, and I'm passionate about helping success-driven women entrepreneurs get past their fear and procrastination, move forward, take action, and grow your business with passion, purpose, and power. Our programs and resources equip women entrepreneurs and business leaders with how to handle life's difficulties while enriching their hearts, encouraging their passions, and expanding their professional and personal dreams. Working your business can be tough and overwhelming, and it's easy to get lost in a busy life. We want to inspire you and support your growth. Are you ready to dive into this month's episode? Well, let's meet the Sister Talks ladies. Hi, ladies. Thank you for joining us for Sister Talks.
Hi.
This is a space built on sisterhood, courage, and connection. Life isn't always easy. We all face moments of doubt, fear, or uncertainty, but you don't have to face them alone. Sister Talks reminds us that the weight gets lighter when we carry it together, and the victories feel sweeter when we celebrate side by side. Here we encourage each other to trust the process, embrace the lessons, and keep soaring higher. So thank you for bringing your heart, your wisdom, and your presence to this community.
Yes, you're welcome.
So let's start with introductions. Tell us your name and what you do.
Hi, I am Latoy. I am a full-time mom. I'm a state worker. And also, I am assistant of operations at Becoming Fierce Female Entrepreneurs. I am passionate about equipping women on how to handle life's difficulties while enriching their hearts, encouraging their passion, and expanding their professional and personal dreams.
I'm Krista. The name of my business is Made with Love Gatherings, beautiful gatherings made simple.
I am Connie, and I love the Lord. I'm a chaplain, and we have an anchored school of ministry that I just founded. And I'm a mom and a grandma and a great grandma, and I love life.
Yeah. Well, welcome, ladies. Thank you so much for being here. So would you ladies like to play a game?
Sure.
Let's warm things up with a fun and fast-paced game I like to call Trust or Test. I'm going to give you a scenario, and you must decide if you saw the situation as a test of faith or a moment you trusted the process. Also, listeners, you can play along if you like. First one, an opportunity that comes your way looks amazing, but feels a little too good to be true. Do you trust it or test it?
I'll say test it. I'm not thinking of anything very specific, but because I have multiple jobs and I wear multiple hats, I tend to test things that opportunities that are coming into my life to make sure they fit properly and that they can work around my priority, which is, my family. So I would say test it.
I would say test it because if it feels something is off, then it's probably a sign to not go ahead.
I actually agree with both of you. That was my initial reaction to test it. Um, I just say go with your gut, which is the Holy Spirit in you. If you feel something's off, then it probably is off. So I would test it.
Our next one. You've been waiting for an answer from a client, job, or even life direction, but the silence feels endless. Is it a test of patience or a call to trust?
That one, I'm actually waiting or was waiting on an answer from a job. So I have an opportunity at my state job that came up because I can relate right now. So for that one, call to trust with becoming fierce female entrepreneurs, me being an assistant, I was able to hire and interview and help get assistance with the business, which allowed more space in my schedule. Also, my kids are older. And so just that season of life, realizing that they're still there and they're still a lot, but they're getting older and being more self-sufficient. And so I hadn't heard back a while from the job. And finally I heard back and decided to accept. So now I'll be full time from being part time. So I say call to trust because I always knew and never took any jobs prior to that. So strange that an opportunity was now and that I actually have the availability. So I just always that was the call to trust. I trusted it and knew one day the opportunity would come up and it did. So yeah, call to trust on that one. Excited about that new season, new chapter.
Yeah.
Like, that's exciting.
Thanks.
I would say that this has a few different answers. So if you're waiting for something concrete like a call or a client or something, that's an easy follow-up and you can just reach out. For your life direction, that's definitely a call to trust and a test of patience because those aren't always very clear.
I'm thinking about the thing that's a priority with me right now is this Anchored School of Ministry that I'm founding. So I'm waiting for certain bits of information to come back to me to hear back from the state. And you do have to be patient because some of those things are just not in my control. So I just have to trust that I'm going the right path because I really feel strongly I'm on the right path. So I need to trust I made the right decision. And then I need to be patient while the other half does their part. So I see it can be both ways. I uh, can be a little impatient sometimes. Someone told me one time I was like a wild horse in a corral, and I can't wait to get out. And finally, the time came to open the gate, and I bolted out. And I thought, yeah, that sounds like me. So you have to be patient sometimes. It's so
I
true.
love that analogy.
That-
I love it.
For you girls that know me, you know that's pretty well spot on.
For me, it's definitely a call to trust because sometimes silence is protection or preparation. And even when it feels uncomfortable, like Latoy wanting to do something else, but it gave us a chance to meet other people and get fresh ideas from other people. So I've learned that when the answer isn't coming, the growth is happening in the waiting.
See?
Yeah, great.
Yes,
Yes.
that's right. Growth
Mm-hmm.
happens during the waiting.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Oh, that's
I
really
love
good.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next one. You get invited to collaborate with someone whose values don't quite align with yours. Do you trust the process or test the partnership?
For that one, yeah, I would say test the partnership. The example going back to becoming fierce female entrepreneurs, it's very important that who we collaborate with or hire is aligned with the values of the company. So it's very important. So I would say test the partnership with multiple conversations, multiple interviews, making sure that it again aligns with our mission and what we believe and what we want to accomplish here. So yeah, it's important. I would say yeah, test it.
I would say trust the process because if it doesn't feel aligned, then they're not supposed to be there probably. And in that process, the right person could come along.
For me, I would test it because just because we don't align in this area, who knows? Maybe there's another thing or two or three about that person that I have yet to discover. And we might really align on these other things, which would offset in a positive way what we didn't agree on here. So maybe we don't really align here, but there could be other things that I hadn't even realized. I'm going, yes, that will make this partnership work. So, yeah, I would test it.
Next one. You feel a nudge to step into something new, but you don't have all the details figured out yet. Do you trust the leap or test the timing?
Like you were saying, these can go so many different ways. How you want what you're thinking about when you answer them. I was just thinking about something just like buying my new house that I'm in. That was something new, and it took a while, and I had to trust the leap. Everything was new about it. It was a new space, but the actual outdoor space was new. That had to be done and redone. It was a lot of process to this whole thing. As people know, when buying a house, it's a lot involved. It took a year to sell the current house. That was really trusting it to allow it to be on the market for that long. So when I think about this question, that was something that came to mind. Trust the leap and just see what happens, see if it works out. And happy I did. Happy I did. I'm happy we stayed stuck with it, trusted it, and then we ended up selling and being able to move to where we are now, and hopefully it's a forever home situation.
Oh, this is good. I love your answer to that. She's not telling you all about the acreage she got and not knowing how she's going to get all this grass cut.
Uh,
Her mother-in-law was like, "You need goats."
yeah, because you want something until you do, like of course, but then the taking care of it and the amount is a whole nother thing. So, but I'm blessed, I'm happy, and I'm
Yeah.
grateful
And
now.
us coming over every time we come
Yeah.
over,
Pulling weeds
pulling
and
weeds.
yeah, just anything you can do to try to help. Because it was overwhelming. That's what made me think about it when this question is just overwhelming. It's such a big, great thing, happy about it, but just overwhelming. Just trusting that like this is the right thing. That's
Yeah,
all.
yeah. You don't have to have it all figured out. Oh, wow.
Yes. Yeah.
What about you, Krista?
I'm going to say trust the leap on this one. Um, so often we want to know the whole steps, each stepping stone, but often you don't get to know the next step until you've taken the first step. So, yeah, I'd say trusting the leap. It's sometimes, most times, very scary, but you're not going to find out the whole answers. Even if you wait and test the timing, you're most likely just going to miss out. So, it's trusting that leap and that the next step will show up when it needs to.
Yes. I like that one. And just a little bit on that, I had to move schools for the kids. That was so trusting that they would be okay with that too. So it was definitely trust. Yeah,
A lot of things.
the
Yeah,
leap.
for
A lot
sure.
of different things. Yeah.
Yep.
The question is, if you don't have all the details figured out yet, man, I agree with you. Trust it. I think we need to trust the leap. Example again, I keep referencing this anchored school of ministry, meaning we're anchored in the Lord, anchored in the Word. So it's the anchored school of ministry. And yeah, I have a lot of stuff, but I don't have all the details figured out. I just heard from 3 different departments from the state that I need to do this and this and this. And it's like, okay, so here's more and more to do. I have other decisions that are in process, but I know I'm supposed to do this. So therefore, I trust the leap that I'm taking. And just like Krista said, you can't take step 2 until you've taken step 1. So you take the first step, and if you don't know exactly which way to go for the second step, the other details will come in, and then you'll know. So I'm agreeing with y'all. This is one that you just need to trust the leap and just go for it. Go for it. If you're going to do it, do it. You're not going to want to do it halfway. You want to do it with confidence.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This one keeps a lot of people stuck. Yeah, because of all the details and they want to have it all figured out. I was one of them. So this one really hits close to home. And I've often felt that nudge. And honestly, sometimes you just got to trust the leap, like you ladies said. And I love your analogy about taking the step. And it makes me think of something I've said before. Faith grows when you step before you see the full staircase. And in my experience, clarity often comes in motion and not before it.
There you go.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Agree. Got to move. Got to move a little bit.
That's true.
That's really good. Next one. When your hard work isn't showing results as quickly as you'd hope, is this time to trust the growth you can't see or test a new strategy?
Yeah. So for this one, I just, right before we got on, I thought like a health journey of just trying to take care of myself better in general. But it's been so hard over the years. My youngest is 9. So this process of getting to feeling better overall, and yes, involving losing weight and all of that, eating better, working out, taking time to myself, the whole thing has taken a while. I finally decided to test a new strategy, and it has been working. It's been great. You know, the saying is you can't pour from an empty cup, or you can't help others until you're taking care of yourself. And it's true, but it's just difficult as a mom to do that, and having a job and running a business and all of those things. It's hard to do that. So finally having this year being able to see that I could test a new strategy and it worked, it feels really good. So it's been great. That's the first thing I thought of was try something new. And and so it's been good. It's been working. I've been feeling a lot better overall, and happy to finally, after so many years, to see results.
That's really
That's wonderful.
I know. Huh?
Congratulations.
I know, I'm thinking right now, like I'm really happier than what it seems like right now. Like it's been so hard. That I mean, you know, losing weight just by itself, but just in general, that's so. Just because you want to make it happen doesn't mean it's going to happen. So you try all these different things, but it don't always work. So finding something that actually worked after so long, when you said your hard work isn't showing results quickly as you hope, yeah, that's difficult to stay the course. But trying something new For sure.
I went with business. So I'm on my third business, and hopefully, not hopefully,
Mm.
something has to work because I'm doing all the right things. So for me, it's testing the growth that I can't see.
For sure.
And I'm actually in this whole life season of this. But I read recently that this process, when you can't see the results, is like planting a little seed.
Mm.
And it doesn't grow right away. It grows maybe in a few days, a few weeks. But then as soon as it grows, you can't just step on it. You have to trust that it still keeps growing to get the fruit that you want, the apple tree or the tomato or the flower. So yes, trust the growth that you can't see is kind of been where I've been at.
I kind of want to go both ways on this, depending when I'm talking about interesting, that I'm also on the weight loss journey. So that involves patience, but that could also involve trying something a little bit different. So I think I'm down 19 pounds, another 40 to go, but I've started.
Amazing.
And I think I found what works because I tried this and this. So some, but then that includes just continuing on and continuing on, and it is not going to just happen like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is good. Everything you ladies have shared. And I'd say lean into trust the growth that you can't see first. And I love Krista's analogy because seeds don't sprout the day after they're planted. And like she's saying, you can't step on it. You need some fertilizer. You need to water. So I'm a true believer in testing strategies once, I've given something a fair shot. And sometimes it's just not the vision that's wrong, it's the approach that needs a shift.
For
And
sure.
so, to your point, you needed to do something else. All right, last one. A door closes that you thought was meant for you. Do you trust that it wasn't your door or test another way to push it open?
I'm not thinking about anything specific on this one, but I tend to trust that it wasn't my door. That's my nature. Do I, find another way to push it open at times? Yeah, but mostly my nature is I can let some things go that it's not hard for me to go, okay, that wasn't my job, or that wasn't meant to be. Even with the house, it took so long for it to sell, but it was like, if it sells, it sells. If it doesn't, then I'm like, oh, then we need it to stay here. I usually am in that space. So I lean towards trusting that it wasn't my door or wasn't meant for me.
The younger me, old version of me, would definitely have pushed and pushed and pushed. The newer and wiser version of me now recognizes why bother? If it's not for me, it's not going to happen. If it's meant to be, it will be. And it's much easier to deal with it that way.
More at peace with it now
Yes,
than before.
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. I hear you on that. Uh, I'm sure none of you would agree with this, but I asked several friends a number of years ago uh, when they first think of me, what's the first word that comes to mind? Do you know they all said stubborn? That I am stubborn? Well, if I'm right, I'm right. So there was the time, Krista, that I would have beat that door and beat that door because I'm right, and that door's got to open. And I don't know if it's a thing that's coming as I've gone through life more, but it's like I'm going to knock on the door good. But if it's not open, and move on to the next thing. To me now, in this point in my life, it's like, okay, it's not worth the stress and the worry.
Yeah.
You know, I'll do my best. And if that door's not working, all right, I misunderstood something. Let's move on to the next thing. So that's where I'm at now. And it's a lot
Yep,
more peaceful. Go that way.
definitely.
Yes. So I'm hearing you all say it's a learning process. So I'm going to start by saying I've learned,
And
which means,
definitely,
which
with,
means, like Krista said, when I was maybe a little younger, I've learned to trust it wasn't my door.
mhm,
Closed doors have saved me a lot of detours. If it's mine, it will open in due time.
yeah.
And I won't have to force it. What's for me won't miss me.
I like that.
No matter
Yes.
what, relationships, work, it could be anything. Nobody has any energy
Yeah.
to push. We're older now. We have no energy to push anything that is not meant. And I love it. And I heard it
Yeah.
just gets better and better and better the longer you live.
It's true.
You
Yep.
just get more
Yeah.
at peace with what's not for
Yep.
you.
Yep. And all those seeds that we've planted and people maybe didn't step on, like Krista was saying, those flowers, those tomatoes, those apples, guess what? They will come back and doors will open because you planted the seed.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Yep.
sure.
Yeah.
Yep. Just keep planting.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. I'm gonna have to do a
I know. I'm writing that down too.
keep planting. Yep. Thank you, ladies, for playing Trust or Test. You know, I'm be coming out with games. Oh man, this is so much fun. There's a version of success that can't be tracked by metrics. It's measured in peace, alignment, and quiet obedience to a path that no one else can see but you. Trusting the process in the unknown seasons isn't always graceful. Sometimes it's messy, sometimes it's lonely. Sometimes it feels like absolutely nothing is working, and you're left wondering, why did I even start this? But I've learned this. Faith isn't just about believing for the outcome. It's about how we carry ourselves in the in between, because those in between seasons teach us how to wait, how to listen, how to release control. Connie talked about being stubborn. And how to show up fiercely, even with shaky hands. This conversation is for every woman who's planted seeds in silence, made moves without applause, prayed bold prayers while fighting quiet battles, and still chose to move forward with grace and grit. So, ladies and listeners at home, grab your favorite beverage. I'm going to grab my tea. Let's settle in and let's get into the stories, tips, and insights that can help you transform your own moments of challenge into opportunities for growth and success. All right, so let's drink to that.
Mm.
All right.
Good.
Let's have a conversation on surrendering, trusting, and thriving in the wait. So, ladies, for our plug in discussion, what did trusting the process look like for you this year in real life, not just in prayer or a post? And then what did you almost quit too soon, but now you're glad you didn't? And then how do you stay faithful when nothing is moving, when there's no evidence it's working yet?
I laugh at all of, I just, yeah, because it's so many things
Yeah.
that don't show progress while you're trying, so there's so many things that you have to trust. But for me this year, as far as actions, when I talk about the job, I actually went to my supervisor, asked questions about the job leading up so that when the opportunity came, I was able to just fall right into it. So I have been doing prep work on that, always knowing that one day I would want that. So it made it a lot easier when the opportunity came for me to have it. And when I say opportunity came, it's been, my oldest is 18 years. So that's how long I was part-time. So it was a long time that I've been part-time, but knowing that one day, I knew one day when they got older, and it's crazy how time just flies by and now they're older. It's just so weird like that. But I'm happy that I did. And then what I almost quit too soon was definitely what was so funny about talking about getting healthier. When I saw that question, I thought about quitting, but it was really like letting go and trying to get some self acceptance. So when we'll never know, luckily, we'll never know, hopefully, we'll never know if I would have been able to accept myself as I was. But I really was giving up on that. Like, it ain't gonna happen. It's okay. I'll just let that go and just try to enjoy, be present and enjoy what I do have, which I was healthy. I was always healthy as far as just that. But as far as my appearance, wanting to look better and all that, that's what I was working on. So I almost let go. So happy I didn't. Found another strategy. Feel so much better now. So happy that I didn't let that go. And trying to stay faithful, it's very hard to stay faithful when nothing's moving, but I talk to family, I talk to friends, I have a great community, and that's how I stay. Even if it's barely moving, I still stay afloat by talking to others and staying with people who are close to me and checking in and hearing their stories. It just keeps you, as soon as you talk to someone else, you feel a lot better, even if it's not the same thing. Maybe it's not weight loss for some people. It could be a job. It could be anything. They'll compare something different, but it'll feel similar to you as far as the waiting and hoping that it happens. I'm in a good season, and yeah,
That's wonderful.
thank you,
And
Proud of you.
all the work that
thank
you've been
you,
doing is showing up for sure, even just in
thank
the way
you.
you're talking.
Yeah.
So for me, this whole topic today of trusting, I have been in a season of waiting, a very long season. So I've been in a year of waiting now. I've needed a new home by a miracle, and I've had a tight financial squeeze. So that has been huge in trusting the process this year. And it is real life. What did I almost quit too soon? I have wanted to quit many, many, many times because this has not been fun. It has not been easy. But every time I want to quit, I'll get like a verse or a devotional or something that says, keep hanging on, don't let go. So that's been helpful. And I know that God is working and He will fulfill His promises, even though I really don't see hardly any evidence of it yet. So that's been very hard. I don't have the answers to what I'm waiting for yet. So still not quitting, still no answers. Working on surrendering and resilience and letting go of the control. And then how do I stay faithful? Again, this year has been a massive test on my faith. And so I have just chosen to double down on believing that what God says is true and that He will deliver me, hear my prayers. I understand that my current situation it was necessary I've realized now since the years past that all the things I've been able to learn as a result and the growth that's happened. So again, you can't really be angry at a situation when you can see the growth that's happened from it. From the beginning, I knew that one, this had to come as a miracle. Two, that this was a test and I was determined to pass it. Yeah. So, like I said, I haven't got the answers yet that I've been calling in and praying for, but I'm committed to finishing well. So, I'm in the real life situation. I don't have the end product yet.
That's beautifully vulnerable. You can't
Yeah.
get more authentic and vulnerable than that. And it's great because that's, you don't have the answer. Sometimes you just there in it, just walking through it and just waiting to see what's going to happen. And staying
Thank you.
patient with that is hard.
Oh, yeah.
Really hard.
And to keep your attitude
Mm.
positive
Oh, that's
and not be a downer. That's a
hard
big deal too.
to do.
That's evidence of the growth that
Yeah.
I've been,
And the
been
hindsight, you said
doing.
now, right? You said after you can see it. So that
Yeah.
was perfect. You saying that too, that while you were going through it that past year, but now, so when you were going through it, it's hard to feel grateful and learning something from it. We're not always like positive about when we're
Yeah.
in it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we wouldn't even know she's showing up.
Mm,
Connie talked about this a couple years ago, how she just still kept showing up, even though
mm,
she was going through,
Yeah.
hard times. So
Yeah.
you're
right.
right, being authentic, and that's what Sister Talks is about.
Yeah.
Helping someone
Yeah.
get through it, the rough times, and just talking about it. But you keep planting them seeds, girl.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen big. I
For
believe that.
sure.
And can you see already how just us talking today, it's helpful. It really does help. Talk about her. What did trusting the process look like for me this year? Because a couple years ago, there was such a dramatic, massive change in my life. And so I moved here to Texas 2.5 years ago. April 9th was 2 years. And I am seeing now, I knew when I was coming here, I knew that God was appointing me to be here, but I couldn't see it, but I knew it inside here. So now that I've been here this long, man, God's given me some beautiful friends and connections, and some things are happening. And I'm like, well, God, before just by faith, I believed that I knew I was being obedient just by faith. Now it's like, I'm just like you're saying, Krista, now I'm seeing the fruit. I'm seeing the things come to pass. When I first came, you can be disoriented. I moved from California to Texas. I'd never been here before. Uh, but now it's feeling more and more comfortable, and it feels like home now. So that's a good thing. And how did I stay faithful and on? Just like what we've been saying this whole time here, man, you just keep on keeping on. You just keep on going. Okay, it's a new day. What am I going to do today? Okay. Is today a day for a lot of action, or is today a day? Sometimes we just plod. Some days you're more eager and you're almost at a little bit of a run in what you're doing, but you just keep on keeping on, and everything seems to just align. And it just, I'm
Now,
glad I stuck it out, because now you're seeing. So I'm just saying, if anyone out there is going through some stuff and it's hitting you hard, we've been there. We have all been. I'm just saying, you keep on trusting, you keep on talking to the Lord, and you just one foot in front of the other, girl. You just keep on going, because it's going to pan out for you. It really will.
Yeah.
it was good.
Ooh,
Very good.
that's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Keep on trusting the process.
Mm-hmm.
Even like for me, after 8 years in, the numbers sometimes don't always reflect the effort, but it still meant recording podcast episodes, still writing, still building without having all the proof that it was landing the way I hoped. And in real life, it was second guessing and late nights. But it was also me reminding myself that consistency is faith in motion.
There you go.
And yeah, and that even in the quiet seasons, remember this: God is still working behind the scenes.
Yes.
However, like most of you, there were moments I thought, has the podcast run its course? Is
Mhm.
anyone, really listening? But
Yeah.
I kept going.
Come on, girl.
And then the right messages, the right women, the right confirmations came through just at the right time. So that reminded me that sometimes your yes isn't about how big the audience is, but about being faithful to the assignment. So I'm so glad I didn't let discouragement stop me. So for me, staying faithful looks like anchoring myself in daily practices, journaling, prayer, affirmations, but also being honest with myself and my circle about when I'm struggling, because that's something that we don't always like to show.
Mhm.
And when there's no evidence, I've learned I lean on reminders of past seasons, where God showed up right on time, because if he did it before, he'll do it again. And okay, come on, we can run around the room.
Come
So
on. Come on.
I remind myself that silence doesn't mean absence.
Hmm.
Silence
That's good.
doesn't mean absence. Sometimes the soil is working even when the seed looks still.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
good. There was a few things in there. Man, a lot of nuggets. Two things. When Connie said about keep going, I thought to do one thing or little thing every day just to keep it going, even if you're not seeing the results, just one little thing and you'd be surprised. That's what I thought about when Connie said just one little thing every day to keep going. If it's small, when you said keep going, I thought just something small. And then when you said about the effort and the numbers not matching the effort, I thought, yeah, exactly with my weight loss. The numbers on the scale was not matching the effort. So just different things I was thinking of as all three of you guys were talking. Like, yeah, it's a lot to relate to and a lot of helpful information.
Yeah, yeah.
So, can you see again how much we need each other?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
We
Yeah.
need each other. There's so much that we learn. And I think like what you were saying, Joy, too. So I go back and re-look at some of these episodes that we have been in, and I will learn stuff again. It's like I didn't catch it the first time. It's like,
Yep.
oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
me
It's
too.
amazing how that works, huh?
Yeah.
Yes, I can definitely see how these conversations help people for sure.
Yeah. I hope you are enjoying Sister Talks. Whether you're in the midst of a struggle or reflecting on past challenges, Sister Talks will inspire you to keep pushing forward and embrace the growth waiting on the other side. So, what about you? Are you an encourager, but sometimes feel that you need a little encouragement yourself? Do you sometimes get off track and need a little push to get going again? Are you willing and ready to be vulnerable about your struggles? Are you ready to be a cheerleader in someone else's life? Are you looking to connect with other women? If you've answered yes to any of these questions, chances are you are not the only one going through a difficult situation. Nobody is perfect. Sometimes the greatest strength comes in recognizing that you cannot do things alone. So join our community of like minded women who have a desire to inspire, empower, and support others to soar a little higher. Join us for Sister Talks. Come join us and get to know people with similar interests so we can encourage each other. You can either subscribe and listen, or you can be featured as a guest participant on our panel. Sister Talks is featured quarterly on our Becoming Fierce Female Entrepreneurs podcast. So come join the conversation and help lift each other up and empower one another. All right, let's get back to our episode. All right, it's time for Note to Self. It's important to recognize the power of community and connection. We all know how challenging the entrepreneurial journey can be, especially during difficult times. So let's dive a little deeper and have a meaningful dialogue about building strong support networks and the role of sisterhood in business. So, what would you tell another woman listening today who's walking through an uncertain season but wants to hold on to her purpose? And then, what's one reminder or affirmation you speak over yourself when the path isn't clear?
You would be surprised how long it takes to accomplish something until you talk to other people and find out how long it took them to get successful, to reach their goals. You guys probably know there's posts on the internet sometimes about entrepreneurs and people who have invented stuff and the age they were when all the big products that we use come out. So think about the things we mainly use, our phones or Amazon, or just things that we use. Those adults were in their 40s, 50s, 60s when they actually were successful at it. So I don't know where we lost that notion of that things had to happen when we were young. They don't always happen when you're younger. So hearing that, seeing that, listening to those entrepreneurs talk. So the one advice I would give is talk to other successful people and ask them how long it took them. And you'd be surprised at the years, not months, not days, but years that it took them. And then have the patience, but also do other things for yourself within that waiting time. Even if it's uncertain, work on yourself in other ways unrelated to what you feel your purpose is, because your purpose will find you. So sometimes just focusing on something else, trying to be healthy, go for a walk, go for anything else besides what's not happening purpose wise, it eventually will find you, and it will happen. And it can just take the stress off of, we want to focus, we want to be motivated, we want to not give up. But we also, it's okay to focus on something else at times too, just to allow space for some other energy. And then you'd be surprised, like with your other energy, some things just fall into place while you're focusing on something else. Yeah. And then the affirmation is, this too shall pass. That's the only thing I can tell myself. I mean, there's multiple things, but that's the one that I know is true. Because it's hard. Like, so many people tell you so many quotes and so many things, and they can pertain to them or you, but they don't always apply depending on the situation. This too shall pass, meaning the good times will pass and the hard times will pass. But just sitting in that this moment, is temporary. And if it's good, I'm going to enjoy it for the moment. But that's also not the purpose that we're always going to be happy and excited every single moment either, or motivated every single moment. That's going to pass too. When you're motivated to do something and you're running a bunch of miles, well, a couple weeks later, you might be like, oh, I don't feel like going today. So that passed, but that's okay. It's going to come back. So that's life. And when we all realize that, it helps the expectations of what you want out of life. It makes it easier to just know that the bad times will pass and the good times will pass, but it's waves and flows. There's no ultimate goal. There's nothing that you're actually trying to achieve. Technically, yeah, we have goals and we want to achieve things, but the real goal is just to realize that this is it. We're in it right now. This is it. This very moment, what we're doing, what we have, what we don't have, this is it. So knowing that, enjoying it for the moment and letting it pass and writing the next moment, whatever it is. Whatever it is. Sorry, that was long-winded, but I got a little
That was
passionate about
good.
that
That's
one.
beautiful, yeah.
Because so much is coming at us. We have to just go, this too shall pass. This too shall pass. I can't feel it now. I don't know it now, but I do know it will. And when we think about all the things that we've already been through, they did pass. They did. They did pass.
Yeah, very true. Very true. And I liked how you said, Latoy, that success takes years. And so often we don't hear those years. We hear, wake up tomorrow and have 10,000 subscribers. We don't see the years that it took to get 10,000 subscribers or anything. So thank you for mentioning that it's years and not minutes. The advice that I would give through walking through uncertain seasons is to find people who have your beliefs. So I've had to do that this past year too. There's been a lot of doubters because what I need is so incredibly impossible. And there's been a lot of doubters, but then there's the few that say, yeah, your house is coming. So I'm like, thank you. I need to borrow your belief right now because I don't have it in me right now. So borrow other people's beliefs, not their fears. And you'll have a lot more people who have fears than beliefs. Talk to somebody who will support you even when it's hard. So I've had a few people over this past year who I can just say, you know what, today's a really hard day. I can't do this today. I'm angry today. I'm frustrated today. And knowing that they're not going to judge me, shame me, they're not going to tell me to just put on a happy face. So those two things, borrowing other people's beliefs and just allowing myself to voice what I'm actually feeling instead of putting on the mask of I'm okay, it's okay, which I used to, and that really didn't get me very far. So that was one thing. The reminder that I always think of is one tiny step in the right direction. And it's just one step, the next step, a tiny step. Doesn't even have to be monumentous. It could be you wanted to go for a run, so you put your running shoes on. That's the next step. You can't go for a run without your running shoes. And then maybe tomorrow you'll actually walk out the door with your running shoes on. So one tiny little step. And also this season has definitely been, I mean, I've been in church my whole life, so I've known all of this stuff, but sometimes you just get to experience it in a whole different way. So I'm reminding myself again that God is in control and his timing is perfect. And so that's my thoughts and advice.
That's
There
really,
you go.
really good.
Yeah, it's all really, really good. It's all really true, and it continues to resonate with all of us. You were saying we're like, yeah, that's exactly right. And so my advice is really if someone is going through an uncertain season, what do I say? Man, just keep on going. Just keep on going. It's not going to happen overnight. But if you're on the right path, man, it's going to happen. So just keep on keeping on. Just keep on going. And that is hard sometimes, for sure. And that's why you need your sisters. That's why you need your friends. I'm normally a happy, up person, but there's some days that I'm not. So I need my family. I need my buddies around me to help with all that too. One thing that I have on my phone case even is Philippians 4:13. I can do all
Ooh,
things through Christ who strengthens
strengthen
me.
me.
There's also 2 Timothy 1:7. For God has not given me a spirit of fear or timidity, but of power and of love and of a sound mind or discipline, depending what you're looking at. So, man, if God's on my side, who am I going to be afraid of, or what makes me think I can't do it? God is partnering with me. He's given me a purpose. He's put these gifts and talents within me, and He's going to help me fulfill the call that He has on my life. So I said, just keep on keeping on. Keep on going because oh my gosh, can you imagine the party when we get there? Oh, it's going to be good.
So powerful. I was just piggyback off of what you ladies are saying. And I would tell her, don't confuse the delay with denial. Just because the road looks unclear doesn't mean your purpose has expired. So keep taking small, faithful steps, even when you can't see the whole picture. Purpose doesn't always shout, sometimes it whispers. So listen closely. Stay anchored in prayer, like you ladies are doing, and surround yourself with women who will remind you of the bigger vision when you can't see it for yourself. And I love what Krista says, borrow others
Mm,
people's
love that.
belief,
Yeah, I was trying
not
to
their
jot things down.
fears. Okay.
I
I'm
like
gonna
that.
have to get a
Yes,
t-shirt
yes.
made for that.
Hmm.
Okay. So that's gonna be one of my reminders here. And I often remind myself, but I'm gonna use that one too. But
Yeah.
God already wrote the story, and my
Yeah.
job is simply to what? Keep turning the page.
Yeah.
The truth helps me let go of the pressure to control every outcome and instead walk in peace, even when I don't have all the answers, because I don't always have all the answers. And then, like I said earlier, what's for me won't miss me.
I
Yes.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Encouraged. I'm so encouraged. And like we all keep saying, man, we're all going through it, but we're all going to make it. Oh my gosh. And it's going to be beautiful when we get there. I'm just really encouraged. I've enjoyed this.
Yes. Yeah. And it's okay for everyone to be in different spaces or feelings about it because I always say, positivity is good, but it can be weird when it's positive when things aren't feeling real good. And
Mhm.
so it's okay and it's great to have a friend, like Krista was saying, to call or have people that you can be honest with and they can give you some feedback, but let you sit in it as well and not try to get you over it right away because it's okay to
Yeah.
feel and let it sit there. So we're all in different, like what you're feeling right now, what I felt earlier this week that has now passed, but we're all in different spaces. But I love the vulnerability and how this helps others to see that, oh, yes, it's about being positive and trying to help people go through, but hearing people's real stories of how they feel in the moment is also really important.
Yeah.
And her saying, you're saying you don't have it figured out and you don't even know you're not talking about what you're going to do next and where you're going. You're saying, I'm just sitting in this right here and this is how I'm feeling right now. And I don't know. And that's great because some people don't know.
Mhm.
That's great. It's going to help a lot of people. Some people don't know what diet they're going to try next. They feel like giving up. They don't know what they're going to do next. They don't know, but they just know how they feel in the moment and still knowing that they'll be okay, but just don't know where they're going to go with it. So I think that's good.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
And choosing faith and trusting the process is not for the faint of heart. It's hard.
Very
It's
hard. We
very
say it so
hard.
easily, right? Yeah.
But the character that comes as a result is deeper, purer, and stronger than if you didn't go through this.
Oh,
True. That's what makes us up of who we end up being and who we are.
Yeah.
yes. I love
Hard to see at times. It's hard to tell other people. Like tell my teenagers, it's hard to tell them like this. You're gonna learn something from this because in the moment they're like, yeah, but this sucks. This
Mm.
really sucks. He's 18. He's like, really? You're on to what I'm gonna learn already? How about sit right here in the mud with me for a second first before we get
Yeah,
to what we're gonna learn about it. You know what I mean? So that's what I love about the vulnerability there.
Yeah.
definitely.
It's good that you have different friends and different people. And
Mm-hmm.
something that Mita shared last time when we were talking about a pivot or push through, deciding when it's time to change course, she said, when you're scared, I'll be your brave for you. Sometimes you can call different people, yeah, you may want someone to be down with you, but then you go, okay, I got to call Mita now.
Uh-huh. Give me a hype
Pull me
man.
out the
Need a
muck.
hype
Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I would say first tune into yourself, into meditation, prayer, walking in nature, and really listen to what your heart and spirit is telling you. Because sometimes it's speaking really loud to you, but you're too afraid to listen, or there's too much noise around you at the time in life. And sometimes it's just speaking so loud to you. And the fear perhaps comes because you know that if you really listen to it, there might be change involved there, right? So try to be brave and truly listen to your heart's desire and what's needed for that. And I always tell my people, be brave. And if that's hard, I'll be your brave for you until you feel it yourself.
I like that.
Awesome. Like
yeah.
Yes, this has been such an inspiring discussion. And what I'm hearing through all of our answers is that trust and test aren't opposites, they're actually partners. And there are times when faith asks us to lean back and believe without proof. And then there are times when wisdom asks us to take a step back, examine the situation, and test what's really in front of us. And right now, I want to pause and thank each of you for continuously showing up for Sister Talks. I don't take it for granted. And there are a lot of things in life and business that can feel uncertain, but your voices and your willingness to pour into this conversation are something I can always count on. And that's a gift.
you're welcome. For sure.
Yeah,
We love it,
try not to
actually.
get emotional. No.
We
I
do
know.
love it, though.
And to our listeners, whether you're in a season where you're called to trust or you're being challenged to test, know this: both can be fierce and both can be exactly what you need to become the woman you're meant to be in this season.
Yes.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
sure.
so thank
Yes.
you so much, ladies.
Thank
You're
you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
guys.
welcome. Thank you for
Thank you.
having
Thank
us.
you.
We love it.
All right. Thank you. See you
Bye.
next time.
Spiritual sisters, keep on keeping on, yeah, and keep on holding it down, yeah, 'cause God's got a plan for you. He won't give you more than you can bear, no. So if you're
ourselves and speak.